Hey everybody, this is B. We got Adam and Matthews on the line this week. Believe it'll be week 4 of our podcast, so episode 4. Welcome to week 4 for us. We're gonna start this podcast with our 316 go, and then we're gonna start off with the 5 basic topics, and we're gonna have a hot topic of the week. So this week is gonna be very exciting, as you see with all the market stuff that's happening. We're gonna go. So we're gonna go first with Matthews, and then we'll run through 60.
Hi, people. Well, the hot news of the week is the son of a former dictator who was toppled by a popular revolution won a presidential election in the Philippines. I was quite shocked. Any thoughts?
I was not shocked on my end. I
Oh,
thought that the former president himself
Two
had
sets,
so
B.
many awesomeness.
oh wow.
Carryover.
I
Adam?
say John Oliver did a great segment. Watch it. All right, next topic. Taiwan Army learning lessons from Ukraine war. I think they're going to be sneaky about it. So maybe they're going to go politics, not physical war. Matthews?
Yeah. The stakes are low for Taiwan, unfortunately. U.S. is highly dependent on China, so Taiwan is not as safe as it thinks it is. B.
I really disagree with Matthews. I think there's a lot of stake for Taiwan, as they can see the fruits of labor of what happened in Ukraine they can carry over.
Next topic. B.
Target, CVS, and Walgreens impose baby formula purchase limits due to the shortage. I personally,
Ooh.
as a parent, see this shortage in supply hurting me as a parent and other families that I know that have babies with formula, using baby formula.
Shit, that really does suck. Like, I did not know that. That's news. Matthews?
Yeah, I saw the news this morning that there's a major baby formula shortage across the U.S. and it's a crisis that is not really seen until now, and surprising, to be honest with you.
All right, Matthews. Next topic.
Well, Cerebral, I don't know if you guys know, is a mental health company, is getting subpoenaed by the feds because they've been prescribing Adderall and those kind of medicines online. I was hoping for that, but I was kind of surprised about hoping for it. Thoughts?
I think it's by time, more regulations for those type of things, please.
Telehealth.
Matthews?
Yeah.
Sorry, B?
B.
I think time needs to kind of evolve with that, and I feel like prescription should evolve through as technology advances.
Next topic, B. I feel like we missed the rotation.
The SP500 went down under 2,000, other than 3,000 for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
My thoughts on it was that it's not shocking, as I've been seeing some predictions from some economic folks saying it might hit under 2,800 from the recession.
Those who look at ETFs look at the SPX. Easy way to short and leverage a lot. That is.
We're nearing the recession territory. We're just waiting for like one more, or at least a quarter and a half report. So it's just an indicator. It's not the indicator, but it's an indicator.
All right, last topic, Curry. Got 1 minute.
That's you, Adam.
Oh, that's me? I
Yeah.
thought
That's
Matthews says the last one.
No, you
That's you, bud.
we skipped
all
the
right.
line, remember?
Yeah, you're right. Doctor Strange at 187
Oh, yeah.
million. Post
Oh, no
number 2
way.
COVID era debut. Wow, I can't even say that word.
The bug.
It's a Mother's Day movie.
Boo-da-boo-da-boo.
So wow, Marvel. You did it. Good
That's
job,
some ass-
Marvel.
ASMR sounds
Matthews,
like
go
they're
ahead.
I can't say the word. These are debut.
Debut.
What time? You got 17 seconds. Come on, it's my turn. Come on, Matthews, go.
Yes, that's not a lot though. I
Man,
don't know.
this guy, the a lot. That's a lot of money.
3 seconds. 2,
The
1.
Strains will
B.
take it all.
Mm. Good job, guys.
Oh,
I
This is gonna be the
keep
best
messing.
episode, I
I keep messing it up again. Sorry, guys. All right. So, who wants to start the first topic? Drop your article in the chat. What do you guys got? Who's going first?
Call.
All right.
Matt,
I
hey,
guess.
Adam, you go first.
All right. This one's. Oh, Matthews beat me to it. Go ahead, Matthews.
all right. Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll go to the next one later. The article of the week says OPEC allies stick to production plan as high oil prices boost economies. That is economies of those Middle Eastern countries, especially such as Qatar, Saudi Arabia, even some North African countries such as Algeria and others. It's interesting in that they know they have all the leverage since another major producer, not the major producer, is kind of forced out of the market, and they're just hammering away using their current advantage. And some of the argument they made, which I found fascinating, is, upping the production now won't actually half the price, is what the Saudi folks said. And it doesn't add up, but it's just interesting that they use that argument to sustain their current production level and refuse to up the production. What do you guys think?
Economics. I don't know.
I
It's
know,
game
really.
theory.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Was it Americo, Armco, the Saudi business that essentially, on behalf of the the kingship or whatever. They're basically diversifying their assets, and they're basically trying to squeeze the economy dry until they can diversify their portfolio and not too dependent on oil prices. So if I was have some monopolistic power whatsoever, then obviously
You use
they're
it.
gonna do it.
Yeah. And I was surprised their economy is expected to grow by 10% this year, which is astounding. It's not surprising with the prices of the oil going up by that much anyway. But
the thing is though, what I really don't like it when folks are focusing on the number itself versus the actual relative to its growth, right? You China is growing 15%, yada yada, but when you look at the whole economy, right, it's starting from the bottoms up. Obviously that number is going to increase a lot. If you're going from 0 to 100, that percentage change is a lot. But so you gotta compare to
it's
relative
to the
right,
starting point. I totally agree. But the only reason I was surprised by that is their inflation is expected to be around just under 4%, 3.6 or something, and their growth is supposed to be 10%. There is a gain there, is basically my argument. But I really
it's always a gain, right? When it comes, it's hard for the best case is the Japanese market right now. In terms of growth, they're kind of plateauing, and inflation would hit them hard. It had a negative impact to the economy. They were suffering from a stagflation, deflation, etc. That's another story. Whereas if you look at Turkey, like their growth is freaking high, but at the same time, their inflation is pretty high. So it like relative
So
to
their
those two
gain is
numbers,
their
it's the
gain is
same.
marginal.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
marginal.
yeah.
It's standard for economic profile of Saudi Arabia, right? B.
I have nothing to comment on this. You guys nailed it on the gun. It's basically just basic economics. Why
Yeah.
why
No,
why
it's just
change?
we
Why
we can.
change when it's working?
Yeah,
Right.
I think the only problem, well, not only problem, but the undiscussed aspect of this that we didn't discuss, and probably this is not the platform for it, is just the geopolitical aspect of it. Is the Saudi royal family used to just pump oil whenever the U.S. government says do it, kind of thing, in the past, but now they seem to be resisting due
Um.
to the political situation in the United States, and that they know the current administration is they
Well,
can't do anything,
it
and they know it.
it's the fact that when fracking occurred, it changed the whole entire economy. Like you may not know, but or maybe you do. I'm not gonna assume, but like a third of the entire global supply is from the United States.
I know. I mean, US is a
Like
major
like
producer.
the Canadian tar sand supply way up north in Canada, like they've been supplying us with a good oil reserve. So in terms of geopolitical risk, like they know they're vulnerable both culturally and economically. But the fact is, the business that runs Saudi Arabia is they know that. So that hence why they're diversifying in their whole entire portfolio asset, and they're not going to depend on you know oil.
That's up for debates for now.
Who's funding Elon Musk's Twitter's purchase?
Qatar is a new one.
Qatar is a new one, but it's also
Yeah.
the Saudi prince.
True, but
Right. But
yeah.
so the next topic, right?
Yeah.
Because we spent like 5 minutes
On this one.
It's the next one's going to be public expectations of inflation moderate in April after hitting record in prior months. And this is from a New York Fed study. So essentially, inflation is cooling off, right? So I think that the biggest contributor to that is obviously the fact that we are in an information economy where like just the sheer word of the Fed decreasing inflation already has an effect on people's spending habits as well as just how business operates. Thoughts?
I go ahead, B. You can go first this time.
You go ahead, Matthias. You got some voice straight up.
Well, I think the undiscussed portion of the rise in inflation is also the corporate some monopolistic wielding of power, as in some companies know they can charge and there's no competition to be able to challenge it as much as possible, is the reason prices are going up partially, not wholly, but partially, in addition to the supply chain issues we have discussed a couple of times in prior episodes. So I think that's the undiscussed part of this. But public expectation is very fleeting. So it could change at any given moment. But I don't know. It could change very swiftly. So I won't rely on this one, is what I'm saying.
Hey Adam, for this survey, is it like a survey based off how many people do you know? It didn't say in the article.
I think it's by the New York Fed.
Okay. Yeah, I think for it's a good signal for the markets to kind of see what the consumers are expecting. But I think this will be kind of like what Matthew's saying, some white noise, which won't really kind of gear towards any kind of movement in the markets as much. as they're gonna ignore this kind of statistic, in my opinion. So this is not gonna affect the markets as much as I think it will in the future.
But the only thing that can, if I may cover myself from what I just said,
No.
yeah, the,
No, no,
let me hedge my bets a little bit.
no. There's no hedging bets.
can only
You
go
can't be
one
like,
way.
here's my opinion, and I'm going to disagree with myself. So no matter what, I'm right.
Nah, it's just if I may give myself a 25% risk conversion
Wow,
proportion,
lot.
that's a lot. I know. I'm just saying, consumer confidence, public expectation matters in so far as only some retailers rely on it, and especially it is very prevalent that during the holiday season, public expectation, consumer expectation habits are highly forecasted and gauged by some retailers for um, uh, upcoming seasons. But I don't know how that would factor in highly unstable situations like this one where there's rampant inflation. So I don't know. I don't know how that would work in this situation, but it has been relied on for some shopping seasons in the past by some major retailers, is what I'm trying to say, at least.
I completely disagree because like what people don't realize is that the biggest shock was the fact that the war in Ukraine, and that shock was a multiplier. So the fact is that like everyone guessed that we had inflation. I was predicting inflation last year, and I basically shift all my holdings to banks and all that jazz because I know that that's going to happen. I short stuff as well too, and won, which is great. But the thing is, like, all these stuff were just multipliers, and because these stuff are dying down, it's like people don't really look at it as a whole. Like business cycle will continue as it were, but people are cooling off now, and I think what people miss about these type of news is that when during if you go economics 101 right back when, right, there's a concept called expected and unexpected inflation, right? Essentially, like stories like this is the bedrock of that theory. um, so if people say, "Oh, what is the unexpected inflation?" Right? That's more of a look back function, whereas the expected inflation is this, right? And businesses would rely on studies like this as their model. So, um, and because things are cooling off, I think people just like they should already been hedging their bets per se. So
All right.
Me
you got
personally, I'm not gonna say me personally. Looking at how kind of companies kind of forecast things, I don't really see this data kind of being used as they're using their own data personally, not third party data, but their first party data. It would be more relevant to them and to their business. So this will be all right. My article post in the chat. This is gonna go between Adam and Matthew's head because it's about cryptocurrency.
Oh my God.
whoa, hold
I
on.
knew somebody.
I'm
I knew somebody
neutral.
was gonna bring this up.
I'm neutral. You're pro and Matthias is against, or vice
Completely.
versa.
So this article basically mentions that the Terra USD, which is a stable coin, as it's supposed to be a stable, so it should be 101 to the US dollar, should be stable to $1. However, in summary, the stable coin dropped to 70 cents. And what is interesting is that because the one of the main holders of Bitcoin is one of the founders from Terra Lab. So they're saying this is affecting Bitcoin because Terra, they're being holded as them too. So because Terra's dropping, Bitcoin is dropping, and there's a lot of fluctuation going on in the crypto markets because you're um seeing the markets are kind of shocking. It's shocking over too. But if you think about like in the aspect of things, think about Bitcoin like a tech startup. Growth
So,
stocks are kind of dropping, so they're gonna drop. So
all right,
thoughts.
may I?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
All these valuation is surely based upon volume. So if there's no activities, then the people who are like like gauging on the volume would go against it. So uh so and that's the value of crypto actually today. It's more of just for settlements. The crypto market is up 24/7. So I can basically send something from, I don't know, from here to Saudi Arabia, and they'll get the Saudi Riyadh like instant, and it reduces transaction cost. And I've experienced it. Like, happy Eid, everybody, by the way.
Oh,
So I sent money to my family back home, and it occurred within a minute. Before, you have to go through like MoneyGram or whatever, but all these small little companies, they realize, oh, these guys charged a lot. And so why don't we do it and utilize crypto as just a settlement currency against, like, I don't know, the Indonesian rupiah or the Philippine peso. So it's all these valuation is based on volume. So yeah.
um, Bitcoin, especially, I don't know much about Bitcoin because I don't really use it. Let me admit that upfront. And from what I've read, the stable coin is supposed to be able to help you hold off against things such as high inflation, like we're going through right now, from what I've read. But I don't see that happening. It's fluctuating just as much. So I don't know if it is that reliable to begin with, and it's proven
So
itself. Go ahead.
anything stable, like for example, I think Singapore dollar was a stable currency. And when they say stable, it means that they're pegged by the dollar. It doesn't necessarily mean that inflation won't affect them. It just means that between the ratio between that fiat and a certain currency that you're pegging, that's what they're doing. So like dream scenario, it's a 1:4 ratio always. That's why you love going shopping in Singapore, because it's always going to be 22% off of everything against the dollar, because it's pegged to the United States dollar. I'm actually quite not sure whether it's true today, but historically, the Singapore dollar, they're pegged by Singapore dollar is pegged by the US dollar. So
Since B is into this Bitcoin and cryptocurrency stuff, I'm just curious.
Right now.
What did it drop because this was unpegged from the dollar, or I don't know if that's a word.
no, it's
It's
pegged.
Decoupled from
It's
the
pegged to the
It's
dollar.
pegged.
it's
Pegged to the
pegged.
dollar.
Yeah.
What was the cause of this dropping by this much? I only heard it this morning myself.
The main reason why it went down is because you can say there was the demand of it really went down, and people are seeing that, so they're divesting, and then when they see the big volume decrease, then they're gonna move with it. So you see as you know, cryptocurrencies, they go in big waves. So when they go when the whales leave, then other will follow. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
far, people will look at it as volume. A lot of folks use it as volume, but if you're really into like the techie side of things, you will kind of ignore it. But if you're really into like the trading aspect, you're looking at volume. That's how you kind of evaluate crypto in that essence. Last words this week.
Okay.
The stock market is really getting hit by the recession and it's speeding up really fast. So be on your eyes open. It might drop a little bit more as the SPX is really getting nice, in my bank account. So looking good.
Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. Last comment. Go ahead, Matthias.
My last comment is just that despite inflation news, dollar is strong, and this is pretty good news for the average American consumer. So there is a little bit of hope for the average American consumer. Is my final words.
And I'm gonna go with the non-traditional approach.
Okay.
Take good care of your guys' self. Play some video games like I did.
Oh my
Apex was freaking
goodness.
awesome. Take care of your mind, body, and soul. That's all I gotta say. That's my last words.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Hey, love and subscribe us.
On here.